Young Yeshiva Bacher recounted the following story that happened at the House in Love and Prayer in San Francisco. So every Shabbat morning, there was a young man, bit unbalanced, who sat very close to Reb Shlomo's synagogue, the House of Love and Prayer. He would play his mandolin, and some of the Yeshiva Bachrim would say, "What are you doing? Violating Shabbos." They knew that this man was a Jew, but not a religious Jew. Violating Shabbos. Don't you know you're breaking Shabbos right in front of the synagogue? And the man just stared at them, gawking. And that's how it was. And this man somehow found out that Reb Shlomo Carlebach used to host a meal, and anyone who wanted was invited. So this man came too, and he's eating the delicious food, and then he takes out his mandolin and he starts playing in the middle of the Shabbos meal. And of course, in Orthodox Jewish homes, we don't. It's a violation of Shabbos to play instruments, and so people were screaming at the man, "What are you doing? You're violating Shabbos. It's terrible. Get out of here!" And they kicked the guy out. But the guy found another door, and found he jumped through the other way and sat down and refused to stop playing his mandolin. Meanwhile, Shlomo Carlebach saw what was going on, and he came up to the man and he offered him kind words and some delicious food and told people to lay off, don't kick the guy out. And the man respectfully put away the mandolin, at least for then. And the meal went on. This happened one Shabbos, and this happened a second Shabbos. The same exact scene. He came with the mandolin. They tried to kick him out. Rav Shlomo defended him. Rav Shlomo talked to him until by the third Shabbos, the man didn't show up for the meal. And that seemed to be the end of the story, except the yeshiva bachar, the same one who would often taunt the man, happened to run into the man the next Shabbos, and he saw him praying with a sitter, with a prayer book on his own, no mandolin in hand. And he asked the man, "Hey, what happened to your mandolin? Did it break or something?" And the man glanced up from the sitter, a tear rolling down his cheek, and murmured, "No, I've stopped breaking the Shabbos." Gevalt. One of the many, many instances where we see that Reb Shlomo Carlebach's patience in dealing with people, always with judging people with love, in the long term, it was always successful. In the long term, his love is what won people over to come back to their neshamas, come back to Shabbos Kodesh, and Bezrat Hashem to come back to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. In the schus of that patience, that love, that tolerance that Rav Shlomo showed towards all men, and we have a tiny bit more patience in our lives and a lot more love in our lives. In the schus of that love, may we only see salvations for the whole Jewish people, for the whole world. Let us say Amen.